So, I saw these two, and it looks like they're almost like the same thing. I don't know if uh Montanaro just forgot that they kind of posted it. I don't know if it's the same one, but it looks like it's almost like the same thing because of the titles. Uh Bob Iger avoids Snow White, Epic Universe, and questions about on ideology in Disney earning call Q4 2024. Rachel Zegler, Snow White reboot, snubbed and ignored by Bob Iger during Disney Q4 earning call. Uh, let's see. Um, the Rachel Zegler Snow White reboot got no love from Disney CEO Bob Iger today as the big cheese of the House of Mouse. Get it? Because mice like cheese. They really don't. They prefer peanut butter. So if you're trying to catch a mouse, cheese isn't going to do it. Try leaving some peanut butter. They'll go for that. Of course, if you're going to catch a mouse, do it humanely. I can't stand when people use like sticky traps. That's inhumane and cruel. How would you like it if you were stuck to one of those? There you go. Utterly ignored by the big budget live action House utterly ignored the big budget live action remake of Disney's first animated classic while touting the company's 2025 film slate during the Disney earnings call. Looking at 2025, we have an extremely positive content slate, including Captain America, Brave New World, Lilo and Stitch, Fantastic Four, First Steps, Zootopia 2, and Avatar, Fire and Ash. Just how I love how most of them are just more Marvel crap and crappy, remakes and reboots or live action remakes. Comment, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. This was the second earnings call in a row where Iger failed to mention the Zegler-led project. It comes just days after the outspoken star made a spectacle of herself on social media. In a series of Instagram posts, Zegler appeared to wish harm or misfortune upon President-elect Donald Trump and the 75 million plus Americans who voted for him in the presidential election. Because she's a dumb, stupid C word, and she lives in her own bubble. Because it took a lot more than just people on the right to vote him in. 75 million? 75 million? That's a lot. But no, for dumb bitches like her, common sense is beyond them. They live in their own little world, their own little bubble, and if anything threatens the way they think, they can't even comprehend the idea of someone on their side not voting the way that they expect. It's like with black folks. It's like the whole if you're having the trouble deciding if you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black, because they expect all black people to vote the same way because they don't want you to think for yourselves because they think you're stupid. So, but I don't think we need to say this because I already went over it today, but main Trump supporters and Trump himself never know peace. Anyone got a poison apple they're not using? No, I'm kidding. I don't wish death upon someone just because I don't like them. That's what the left does. Actually, speaking of Mark Ruffalo, hang on. We'll finish this one first. These comments earned immediate condemnation from the public, with outcry against Zegler reaching a fever pitch within the last 24 hours. Internet's forever, whether you like it or not. The backlash against Zegler seemed to rise louder than any public sentiment against other Hollywood celebrities who have voiced dramatic horror at Trump's election to the second term in the White House. Well, maybe stop coming out and calling everyone who just agrees with him, not even his supporters. If you simply agree with the man, they call you a freaking Nazi. They call you a far-right extremist. They call you a threat to democracy and this and that. Yeah, sure, was surely a winning strategy there. Look what happened. You alienated so many of your own base that you got the guy elected again. I guess the childish name calling and labeling everyone you disagree with as a Nazi and as a far right extremist didn't work the way you thought it would. Good job, guys. And yet you're going to keep doing it for the next 4 years because you're stupid and you don't learn. Mark Hamill, Mark Ruffalo, Whoopi Goldberg, and a bunch of people that no one gives a crap about anymore. And many others took to social media to lambast Trump's win. Jimmy Kimmel, who cried once again, this dude, instead of the Tonight, whatever his show is, it should just be called the Jimmy Kimmel Crying Show. Because that's all he freaking does in his opening monologue. He's just like, well, today was another hard day for the country. And this coming from a dude who is on The Man Show with Adam Carolla. Remember that? This dude wants to lambast the whole women's rights and this and that. And he was on a show when he was where he was objectifying women. You know, remember girls in bikinis jumping on trampoline? But now he was like, oh, I'm a virtuous person. You know, I don't objectify women. He was well in his 20s or 30s or whatever when he was doing that show. He knew full well what he was doing. So you can't say, oh, he was young. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. Jimmy Kimmel even cried on national TV. He always cries. I certainly hope he pays his water bill because he cries an awful lot. But Zegler went above and beyond with her wishing a lack of peace upon the incoming president and his supporters. You know, the side of love and tolerance. Does anyone want to push her down a well? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Of course, this isn't the first time the Rachel Zegler Snow White film has faced backlash due to its lead actress's public antics, because this dumb bitch doesn't know when to shut the hell up. She just doesn't. She's young, she's stupid, and she's in Hollywood. The movie faced an avalanche of fan ire after a series of comments made by Zegler in an interview with Extra went viral on social media. When speaking to the outlet, she lambasted the original 1937 film Love Story and went as far as to call the prince a stalker. Weird. Hey, that's what I just said. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time. She also noted in a separate interview that Snow White would not be saved by the prince, and she wouldn't be dreaming about true love. Instead, Zegler said that her version of Disney's first princess would be dreaming of becoming the leader she always knew she could be, because, you know, girl power. Because we can't just have pretty princesses anymore. No, everyone's got to be a boss bitch. Everything's got to be about girl power. Because no one can just have a princess anymore. You know, girls had no problem with just looking up to these princesses and aspiring to be them. You know, you already had princesses who were strong. Look at Jasmine. Seriously, Jasmine's badass. Ariel, all of them. The originals, they all took charge. They weren't some of these, you know, dainty flowers that didn't. No, they all took charge. So it's like, what are they even talking about? Just because you're young and stupid and don't remember what these characters were like, doesn't mean you need to change them. You don't get to rewrite their entire character just because you're a freaking idiot. When her comments ruffled the feathers of longtime fans of the original animated classic, Zegler doubled down in an interview and compared herself to maligned women throughout history and used it as an opportunity to make a political statement. I've watched women get going down my whole life, my whole career. Well, watching the election that's upcoming, we're going to witness what for a long time, I fear. Sometimes it can feel like we're going back. It certainly felt that way when that was happening. The biggest budget for this Snow White movie is reportedly ballooned by more than $500 million after the series' extensive reshoots. Also, to add CGI dwarves instead of having the company of diversity baristas. Snow Brown and the company of Portland baristas. Profitable, blah blah blah. Does it actually 96,000 upvotes to 1.3 million downvotes. Do you agree? Well, by him not mentioning it, I think the writing's on the wall. I think they know it's going to be a flop because Rachel Zegler doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. So when this movie fails, and it will, that's the one you blame because she doesn't know when to shut the hell up. So she was already pushing people away from the movie, and then she wants to come out and attack anyone who just simply voted for Trump because, they were tired of the way things were going. So when you're alienating not only fans, but you're alienating people even on your own side with how extreme you are, because that's what it is. That's what it is now. The right is one thing, but now they're alienating people in their own party because these people are going so far left that the normal people are like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of being called a Nazi every time I just agree with the guy. I just say that you guys are taking him out of context this time, and suddenly I'm a far-right extremist. Well, I'm going to go and hang out with the other far-right extremists then. Okay? Have fun being miserable. So, these people are stupid. She doesn't know when to shut up because she's young and stupid and had been programmed by Hollywood since she was little. So she's just a good little talking piece for them. And again, I've said before, notice how all of these celebrities use the same words, they use the same phrasing, because they've all been programmed, no matter how old they are or whatever. They've all been programmed by Hollywood. Because for Hollywood, you're never too old to be programmed. And she's young, she's stupid, and she's been in Hollywood a while. So for her, they see her mind and they're just like, okay. There we go. Her mind is perfect now. I mean, Hollywood is just basically that meme that you see of all the NPCs and they're all saying the same thing. Orange man bad. Orange man bad. Get vaccinated. It's just, that's what Hollywood is. That's all it is. And if you're conservative, you're afraid to speak up because you don't want to lose your job. But, yeah, it looks like they have no faith in this movie now. Rightly so. Rightly so. No one asked for it. No one wanted it. Rachel Zegler is a feckless bitch who doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. It looks stupid from the beginning. Her costume looks like it was made, either by someone who has no talent or was bought at like Party City for $10, coming from a multi-billion-dollar company. She can't act. Everything she's been in hasn't won anything, so it's not like she's this really talented actress. So it's just one thing after another. But and yet Bob Iger doesn't care. He'll not mention this, and then it's just going to be one flop after another, after another, after another, and they won't do anything to change what's going on. Instead, they'll just keep promoting the agenda-ridden crap, and there you go. Because these people are stupid and they don't learn. But yeah, they have no faith. I mean, he's learning what we knew already ages ago. We didn't have faith in this movie as soon as it was announced. We knew what it was going to be. So the fact that he's not mentioning it, they know. And you only have Rachel Zegler to thank because she's pushed everyone away. I hope after this movie comes out and it fails, they fire her and never let her work on anything ever again. Because all she does is just push people away and ruin things because she doesn't know when to shut up. So I hope she loses her job after this, and then be nice to see her working at a McDonald's. Humble her up a little bit. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.